Got a couple of our brine shrimp hatcheries going here. I have those under a 75 watt light. They're bubbling and they're in the fish room. The fish room is about 80 degrees anyway. We find the light just helps them. We can show you a little bit more about the brine shrimp hatcheries in another video. But we're getting ready to feed our fish, so whenever we get ready to feed our babies, we just shut the light off and just remove the air, and we're going to let those brine shrimp settle up, and we'll be back to feed our new fry. Most of our brine shrimp are settled down now, so we can get a good scoop at the bottom there. Down in our sink, we've got just a plastic cup with our reusable coffee filter that you've probably seen before if you watch these videos. So we're just going to grab a turkey baster and go down to the bottom and suck up a lot of those brine shrimp and squirt them into our coffee filter. And we've got a whole nice squirming mass on there. Once most of the water drains out from there, we just grab some tap water. We want to rinse them off real good. Just want to get all the salt and some of the bacteria off if you can, because brine shrimp hatcheries are going to breed a lot of bacteria. So it just helps clean them up a little bit, get the salt out. Then we'll just got our measuring cup here. Just gonna pour a bunch in there. Can't really do this with one hand. It's usually able to rinse this out a lot easier, but you get the idea. Just get them into a measuring cup. Then we use a meat injector syringe, and you remember before we've got a meat injector needle there. You can see the needle sticking through the bottom of the sponge, and the top of the meat injector needle is out through the top of the sponge. So now we'll just go over here. Again, this is so difficult to do one-handed. I'm holding the camera. Don't want that many. We'll get some brine shrimp sucked up in there, and then this is what makes this so easy. In these kits, so we're just going to take this, stick it below the water line, just stick it right on our thing. We're going to shoot the little dose of brine shrimp right in there. Of course, that'll make them go a little crazy for a bit. That was their first feeding, so I mean, we didn't stick that much in there, but they obviously have a shot at it. The jar is going to keep the brine shrimp, right in the zone where the fish want to feed. It's available to them. And another thing we're going to do is reach up and turn the air off to that jar. We don't want it bubbling, because all that's going to do is suck the brine shrimp right down through the bottom sponge, and we don't want to do that. So we typically leave the air off for about 5 minutes or so, let the fish's bellies fill up, and then we'll turn the air back on. That's a very important step. If you don't turn the air back on, there's no circulation through that jar, and everything pretty much very quickly dies. So that's an important step. I've walked away and lost a lot of jars of fry that way. So we'll let these guys eat, and hopefully those albinos get something to eat too. Another thing that I like to do is, with all those albinos sort of just clustered in down there, I like to just take the jar and give it a couple spins and shake those guys up, get them up into the water column, and get them up around where the food is. Now, they're going to settle back down fairly quickly, but that stirs the food around too. So that's what I like to do. Just a tip.